album will flay your hide. Eric Knudsen on vocals, Michael Gilbert and Steve Connolly on guitar, Bill Bodley on bass, Ken Mary on drums. The classic Bay Area thrash band Flotsam and Jetsam turns in an absolute beast of a record, the single best thrash album that I have purchased since their last album in 2019.
This is the follow-up to the End of Chaos album.
The stellar End of Chaos album. It's an amazing record.
It has a sea monster on the cover. What's more metal than that? And you got the band here. One thing this band has not forgotten is the fact that thrash is supposed to have 2 or 3 riffs per song.
At least.
It's just riffs and riffs after riff, and they're all amazing.
Absolute riff fest, this record. And I have to put in a word for vocalist Eric Knudsen. How is this guy even doing this? Rich, full, and powerful throughout his range. The guy is 56 years old. The whole band is sounding phenomenal. Granted, it has to be said that Flotsam and Jetsam is constitutionally incapable of stringing 2 albums back-to-back without replacing at least one person. Bill Bodley is new on bass for this release, but they do have the most stable lineup they seem to have had in years, and it does seem to be working for them. Old school, powerful, in-your-face thrash with brutal pounding drums, shred guitar for days, sick riffs. For those of you who are not familiar with Flotsam and Jetsam, they are one of the seminal Bay Area thrash bands from the 1980s. They were right out there with Metallica and Exodus and Megadeth, Slayer, but they never quite made it as big as some of the aforementioned bands. In fact, sadly, they are mostly remembered as the band that gave Metallica Jason Newsted. Now, of course, classic thrash fans know, and they also know the band's back catalog, so if I were to contrast this with the older output, one would have to say that they've tightened things up a little bit. Gone are the 7 or 8 minute epics of yesteryear, and what remains is tight, punchy, get in and get out thrash anthems that just blow your mind and get out the door. I don't think there's a single track on here that exceeds the 5-minute mark. I can see the walls are falling down on me. I can see the walls are falling, they crumble to the sea. I can see my dreams are broken, laying on the ground.
From the intense and thrashy blood in the water, burn the sky, brace for impact, to the catchy and melodic The Walls, to the doomy 7 seconds till the end of the world.
Can you feel the fires burning? Can you see the worm is turning? 7 seconds till the end of the world. 7 seconds till the end of the world. Can't you feel the fire raging? Can you? But all staying within that powerful thrashy framework. Superlatives almost fail me when talking about this record. And in fact, it's phenomenal to come across a classic thrash band that still knows how it is done. Metallica should take notes. Although, to be fair, it must be said that Metallica has reached that magic point where millions of people will run out to buy their latest affront to decency and good taste, and the professional reviewers will slobber all over it. But never mind. For me, the best track on the album, it's kind of hard to pick. There's a lot of good stuff here, but I would say the brutal, pummeling title track. Least favorite? Grey Dragon is a cool track, but it struggles for a greatness it doesn't quite achieve.
My favorite is probably Cry for the Dead.
Stand counting all the stones upon the ground.
have one. This is just an amazing album from front to back.
Honestly, I can't recommend this album strongly enough. Definitely one of the year's best releases, and I'm hoping for a follow-up just as quickly as this came hard on the heels of The End of Chaos. Any last thoughts, Maya?
No?
And that's all for now. Until we meet again,
Crank it up a little louder.
I am a shadow.